I'm Eric, and I just got to Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm in Vero Beach, and this is Florida Natural Farming. Excuse me. Today I'm just gonna look and see how everything is. I haven't looked at anything, so I see the roses. I'm out in front of the property. The roses are blooming over here. It's been very dry here. I meant to check to see when the next rain is, but I think it's next week, but it's exceptionally dry. This is where they're building those custom houses across the street. I guess because that house on 4-point-something acres that you see the top of over there sold a few years ago for $2.7 million. So they're putting up big houses on 4 to 5 acre lots. The lots are for sale. I think they're $425. But there isn't a tree on them, and it used to be old citrus ground, so it's got those what people from the north would call swales, but they're for drainage and to make the ground higher, I guess, where they planted the citrus. So everything's looking pretty good. I was wondering if we had any mangoes blooming, but I don't see them blooming. I was happy about that because last year they bloomed in December, and it really messed them up because we had lots of cold days, and they kept blooming like 5 or 6 times, and the 6th time it was too hot for them to set. But the previous 5, this was last season, was an off season throughout Florida. It wasn't because of powdery mildew. We do not get affected by powdery mildew. I've done multiple videos of this. I'll show it again if I'm around. I'm going to be here for a little while, and then my partner's going to come back, and then I'm going to leave. But they're going to come finish painting. We're almost done painting, thank God, so that we can get pictures taken and have our house price adjustment, because that was the whole plan, to sell after January 2025. So there's mangoes all along here. There's sugar apples, ginger, achachiro at the base of every seed-grown achachiro, direct sown at the base of most every sugar apple. I did plant them down there, but not all of them took. But I see there's one right here, right there. It looks pretty big. It's about 2 feet tall. It's doing good. It hasn't been in the ground that long. I think this is a sweet tart mango, but it could be a peach cobbler or a guava mango. And we have triple sec or Seagrams, whatever it's called, which I really like. And then we have some that got affected 3 years ago when they sprayed glyphosate along the fence line and sprayed it directly into our mangoes. And I talked to them. They have not done it since. So they know that this, at the time we were organic certified. We aren't any longer. We used to be biodynamic certified, and then we stayed biodynamic certified and organic certified. We stayed biodynamic certified for a little while longer because you can, as long as you can get your organic certification, then you can apply to become biodynamic certified. So it's a verification process above what organic farm standard allows. It's harder, and it's the only true organic regenerative form of farming. But anyway, so they don't do it anymore. They don't spray, and stuff is looking good. This side, I don't have mangoes at every tree, but I have the achachiro and the ginger and the sugar apples. And I think this is a buttercream mango. Yeah, there's buttercream, Kezar. Some of them are quite large. They were all small 3-gallon. We dry farm everything, and so I'm looking for drought stress. I see this side has some drought stress of the ginger going on. Drought stress is natural. It's not something that people need to be afraid of. It's how trees' metabolism works. They're designed to adapt, and signal to the environment for a response, an autoimmune response to abiotic or biotic stress. So it's good for the tree. It's exercise for the trees, especially since they can't get up and run or lift weights. That's how they exercise. And then they send off volatile organic compounds called secondary metabolites that signal to the environment below ground in the tree or above ground through the leaves, and for help in getting nutrients that may aid in the killing of an insect, or through the mitochondria health and I think it's glycolysis. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not thinking. I just drove 3 hours and then came right out here and made a video. But it looks good. So I took 100 bananas off. I did not take any bananas off on around here. So these bananas I did not take any bananas from, but they got damaged by the Hurricane Milton that came through here. Broke that big branch off this oak tree. This stuff looks good. I mean, this side, the ginger looks a lot happier. Ginger, when it gets drought stress, this ginger has never been watered, and it all came from one rhizome, like in a 1 gallon pot. So there's a lot of it. I divided the hell out of it. I'm going to bring some of this back. There's a citrus that looks quite nice and healthy. I'm kind of looking to see if any of my citrus is blooming. I know we have citrus on our Miko lemons, which are outstanding. Lemon of our own making. It's a hybrid, and it's quite good. Very juicy and like a lemon, a little bit of grapefruit, and a little bit of sweetness. They're good. Everyone's impressed by them. So it looks beautiful here. I want to look at this. I mean, it's beautiful here. It's not Ups and Downs Farm in Citra, but it's a tropical fruit farm that's totally self-regenerating. So this is what it looks like when you are gone and you come back. My partner doesn't do anything in the yard, so there's lots of bananas. The Rollinia trees, we have 2 Rollinia trees. They're all dry farm. This one has fruit on it, and I know that the fruit is still there. I could see it, but the leaves are kind of looking haggard. That's drought stress. The Rollinia can lose all its leaves during drought and come back totally fine without any twig death or branch death or anything. This one got toppled by the hurricane, so that's the part I cut off, but it doesn't look like it's showing too much drought stress. It's a lot happier. It's got flowers on it. They bloom continuously. I always gave them lots of inputs, but we don't apply anything anymore. It's all on its own. Lots of bananas everywhere. Mulberries, they look good. It's just really amazing that you can just plant this stuff and not do anything. That's why people get too carried away trying to assist their trees. The trees do just fine without any of our help. These are Namdok mangoes. I don't see them blooming. So what is this one? Malika, and then Floragon. I'm gonna bring about 100 more bananas because you can't tell that any have been taken. So each one of these I consider one banana. So taking one off here, because I haven't done them along here yet, is not gonna create a problem. Ideally, I would have been planting them around all my trees in the back, but I did 500 divides here. So that's for the next person, or if I'm here for an extended period of time during mango season, then I'll probably plant some, because I do plan on being here full time when mango season starts. Just because we get so many mangoes, and if I'm not here, this is a Super Julie tree. It's not good. This is all compost that I made before I left. This looks pretty. I'm going to give everything a little haircut. I use a hedge trimmer. It's pretty easy. I mean, I'm 62, soon to be 63, and I don't have an issue doing the work around here. It's quite easy. I could do the whole yard after Milton. It took me just a couple hours. I had it all cleaned, all the trails picked up, and then mowed. I think the next day is what I did. This is one of my roses. I do like roses. This is a very nice rose. They don't get affected by drought. This is a ginger. I need to take some of this ginger. This is not awapui. Obviously, it's got flowers right now. When awapui is dead, pretty much, and no water. This is a Thai giant calocasia. It's supposed to be the largest one. It's was a lot bigger, and the frost knocks it back. But it's funny how our calocasias in Ups and Downs Farm didn't get affected by the drought, or the freeze, the frost. So we definitely didn't get a frost here, but it's drought. So this is a sugarloaf mango. Mangoes, they don't care about water. It's crazy that people even think about water in them. It does not affect the fruit set. I've never had it affect the fruit set, though. I guess there's always a first. So this is a Venus mango. That's a sweet tart mango. This is moringa. The house looks good. Oh, all painted. I just have to put a new water filtration system in, which we're going to do the middle of this month. After my partner comes down here, he's going to call and interview people to have that done. But other than that, it's good. The generator's not that old, and the heating and air is not that old. I think 7 years. Pool looks great. Yeah, thank God. Of course, my partner takes care of the pool when they're here, and we're a good team. I do the outside. He does everything else for the most part. But he's gotten better. This is a buttercream mango. Yeah, I've shown these mangoes, and when they have powdery mildew, covered in powdery mildew, and then I show them with, you got to look at like February videos or January videos, maybe, monthly farm update I used to do for January 2022, and then look at the June, so you could see the powdery mildew in February, and then go and look at June and see all the mangoes that are on the same trees. So that's what I mean. It's like crazy that people think that the trees are incapable of setting their biological processes right. The only reason why they can't do that is because we damage them with well-intentioned inputs that we do, whether it's from copper or sulfur or 0050 or MPK or hollytone. Those things all damage mitochondria. So if the mitochondria is damaged, the plant's metabolism can't signal correctly. Its signaling mechanisms are all screwed up. So that's why it's important to feed whole foods to the soil. which is why we used our zebu manure and grass hay. Now we have a 100% closed loop system. This is a fruit punch. This is a sweet tart. This is a Mauritius lychee. That's a Brewster lychee or Mauritius, one of the two. This is a Venus. This lychee is getting quite large. We did have our lychees get affected by the drought 2 years ago, or last winter. We had some trees get affected by the drought, but these trees didn't get affected. In fact, that has new growth on it, which is good. This one's huge. Everything's getting kind of big now, so it should survive. I wonder if we have flowers on our cacao. So we have some Thai pink sweet tamarind. I see some seeds up there. The squirrels usually get them. I would have thought this had a lot more fruit on it this year, but for some reason it doesn't. But I do see some. It's been fruiting for several years. This was coconut cream. I think this is like a Super Julie. Remember, these are like from a 3 gallon, 5 years old. 5 years old next year. There's a fruiting seed-grown jackfruit. I don't smell any flowers, but that doesn't mean anything. There's another Super Julie tree. This is a honey kiss mango. I don't even see them starting to swell. That's good. Probably if it rained, they would all bloom. There's a big peach cobbler tree. Our peach cobblers produce very well for us. This is a big grafted quaimuck tree that produces fruit every year. This is a is this Pineapple Pleasure? Yes, peach cobbler, Pineapple Pleasure, Venus, fruit punch, quaimuck. It's like a test. What do I have here? So stupid. This is a Sapodilla. I think it's a Tikal. Look at all this fucking fruit on here. Sorry, I just can't believe it. The possums got it. I didn't want to break it off because it's like sometimes they can heal themselves and it's growing down low, so I left it. Here's a fruiting jackfruit. These are sugar apple trees. These are my bananas from my friends Al and Chris. This is a Ras Sapote. I love canistel fruit. This one looks great. So the raccoons did terrorize a couple of those bananas, and I don't see them coming up. Raccoons like to sharpen their claws on bananas sometimes, and once they decide to do one, they pretty much will destroy it. But we have a lot, so we got little jackfruits on this tree. That's good. Last year it gave us a lot of fruit, but there's some more. Yeah. Yay. Sometimes you don't see all the fruit. Very good, crunchy. Oh yeah, there's I can smell it. So there's probably flowers on that other tree and fruit, I would guess. The drought has been, jackfruit will lose all its leaves under severe drought, but obviously we're not there yet. I don't even see any sign of drought stress on those. So this is a diamond mango. That's a sweet tart mango. There's a big clump of bananas. That's what I consider one banana. We have 500 of those. Clumps like that. A lot of them aren't that big, but plenty of them are. This is a Venus mango. This is a Ras Sapote that produced this year, but I wasn't here when it ripened, and you know what happens to that. Ingavira tree. This is another Sapodilla, Silas wood maybe. I don't know. We have a lot of different flavors. I see that got fruit on it. It's got fruit on it, I see. They just produce nonstop. I found it to be a problem with them until they get a decent size. But possums love them. Here's a banana. Here's a wax jambu. This is a M4 mango. This is that chaya spinach. The small-leafed one is wax jambu, Spondius mombin, the hog plum, the red one. Huh. Gotta go look at that big cashew tree and the MB tree. and I planted more than 100 cashews, probably close to 200 or more. There's one right there. It's getting quite large. I imagine a lot of them are getting quite large. Wow. This is a Garcinia acuminata that's really big. It's getting very big. It's either acuminata, which is the sweet madruno, or madruno. So yeah, we got jackfruit, we got Rollinia fruits. We're gonna have mangoes. Oh, look at this male Garcinia livingstonii, covered in flowers, buds. Covered. Maybe my other one is. Oh yeah, it's like swelling. Look at that. All those little clumps. That's like achachiro, not achachiro, but yeah, like achachiro, but like jaboticabas. Starts getting those weird things. So this is where the lychees croaked or got damaged. This is all summer mango. This is a sugarloaf mango right here. Yeah. But in these bushes, actually had some. There's some in here in these pepper trees. I hate pepper trees. I think they're beautiful. There's one. Actually, it had a fruit on it that was ripe. But so it didn't, and it's up higher. It's higher ground. The drought damaged this one. Never had drought bother them before, but it was a weird drought, kind of like this year. This is like the driest it's been this early in the year. Oh yeah, I see. This is a jackfruit seedling that had been flowering, started flowering last year. I imagine we will get fruit this year, but I can't see any. I don't even see it's flowering anywhere. But this is really a star of the farm. This is a cashew tree that's covered. It gets fruit everywhere. It's just loaded when it's blooming. Super healthy tree. It looks great. It's the source of all our little seedlings. There's a bunch even growing underneath the tree. This is a Miko lemon, but it's not cashew season. That's in spring, summer. It's a long season, but it's just a season. That's a Valkyrie mango. This is a Miko lemon. Pigeon peas popping up in here. Somebody said I need to plant some, or want to know if I was gonna do legume. Lagoons would help the system's biology. All diversity would help the system's biology up there. This problem with that is they killed a lot of the diversity, and then their practices of mowing nonstop made it impossible for diversity to ever take foot, and also made it impossible for nutrients to flow through the system. So I have to restore that. It's got all the biology you could possibly want thanks to that old growth live oak forest. But I have to get the top part of the soil uncompacted. I imagine it's got a compaction layer down deep. I don't know. I just am appalled that people just drive all over their sandy forest and pick up and rake all the leaves. It's just, I warned the neighbors. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to mow this forest. I'm not going to pick up all the debris. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to plant food in it. And they said, you can do whatever you want. Really nice neighbors. I love it. Love it there. Here's a lychees. This is a sugarloaf mango. So the back 5 acres, I'm not even going to go on. It's where all the mangoes are, but I could see, I'll go down there. maybe later on this week and tomorrow maybe, and check to see if the mangoes are blooming. I don't see them blooming. Most of our mangoes are planted all the way in the back, but this is where the back 5 acres starts. I could see a cashew right there, and I could see a cashew here. They're getting big. I am surprised that Florida has not cashew farms everywhere. It's just so easy here. Oh yeah, I see a cashew. 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 Yes, they're looking good. Very healthy. Wonder what the soil looks like here. I would guess it's got some aggregation to it. It's got stickers there. But here it is. See how dry it is? Yeah, it's totally aggregated. That's what it does when it dries. It forms these little rock hard pellets that when it rains, they create a nutrient-rich soil solution. And it's just dirt though, see? Just sand. That's all it is. It disappears. That's why you don't drive on it, because then you lose all your nutrients. This is how you store nutrients for your crops. This is regenerative. If it's doing this, you shouldn't have to do anything. As long as it gets rain periodically, which Florida does, and this system knows how to deal with drought, so I'm not even worried about drought. It doesn't stress me out. Like, if I watered, I'd get stressed out. Did you water the plants? Did you water that? Did you water that? But here, I don't even worry about it. It's such a relief. I mean, that's how it's not only regenerating to the soil and regenerating for the trees, rejuvenating, better for its health, but it also is regenerating for me because I don't have to stress over it. I see a cashew growing with a mango right there. So not having the stress is regenerating me. So it's just better all around. People worry too much about too many weird things like, what's wrong with my leaves? What do I need to do to my mango now so that I get fruit? What do you grow your mango in? Well, if you're growing them in pots, black plastic pots especially, it's like super challenging. And the black plastic pots just are a instant packet of mitochondria damaging pollutants, from heavy metals to fire retardants to PFAS, and they all damage the mitochondria. So anything you add to it is just going to make everything go downhill. And I think that's why people have to use all this different chemicals, because their tree is just so damaged that they don't understand organic. So they look to others for advice. They obviously don't know what they're doing because they all ask, what do I do? What do I need to do? I don't need to ask anybody what to do. I know that the trees know what they're doing. And they know how to deal with drought because I gave them everything they need to survive. All this nice low nitrogen inputs in the form of whole foods that are high in amino acids, potassium, magnesium, and food for the soil that then creates soil aggregates with the help of fungi and the plant roots and the wetting and drying of the soil that then creates a soil solution that is perfect for growing plants in. But you really have to have the aggregation. A lot of people just think that compost is like this is soil. Like, This has aggregation in it, but most people don't have aggregation. So they look at something like that. It'll be usually more wet than that. See if I can find some that's not broken down yet. Here, like this, without the hay. And they think that that's building soil. No, it's not. Not unless it's aggregating. Most of that just goes up in the air into gas. So people are spraying sulfur on their mangoes. Yeah, sulfur may elemental sulfur may seem harmless, but I talked about this in my last video, but when it's exposed to air, it creates a gas, just like this creates a gas, carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. What is it, dioxide? Dioxide probably. And or carbon monoxide. Anyway, I can't think today, it's horrible. But the sulfur, when it's exposed to air, creates sulfur dioxide, which is damages the mitochondria of the plant. It's a gas. When you're spraying it in a spray bottle, it's like super fine aggregates of water or something, and it's exposed to air. I don't know, I've never sprayed, but I don't know how they do it. But I know that they have to expose it to air because they put it on the leaf. So right there you're gonna get sulfur dioxide. These are the star fruit. The acre looks good. This is a big cashew, very big. The variety of plants that is here, just, I wish I could pick this up and put it in my new place. But a lot of this stuff just wouldn't grow, like the cashew would not even survive. Though our cashew has got down to 31 degrees and produced fruit that year, so that's acachiro. We started this to be an acachiro farm. There's hundreds of acachiro here. This is the Angus spectabilis, the ice cream beans. 2 of them. Oh yeah, this side's all painted, looks good. So this is the pomelo that flowered for the first time last year, a seed-grown pomelo. I imagine it's going to flower this year, but it hasn't yet. And it should be able to set fruit this year, I would think. That's what I'm expecting, the star fruits. These are Rangapuri lime. Here's another pomelo. Has some interesting stuff in here. I should look for, if I could see it on the fly here. Oh, here's a Garcinia dulcis. Wow, it looks really nice. I thought I had a MB tree growing next to it. I do, right here, 2 of them. Right here and right here. I planted hundreds of MB African mangosteen. They look great. That's direct sown seeds. This was a direct sown Garcinia dulcis seed. Garcinias are so freaking tough. Okay, there's a Garcinia acuminata in here and I see it. I can't believe it. Right here. Looks different than that other one. Maybe the other one's not Garcinia acuminata. I don't know. But I have some other stuff in here. There's a blood orange or a sweet orange. I'll know when it fruits. And I know there's some little citrus in here because I plant little citrus. Oh, they're big now. I think this is a sweet orange or a blood orange. Looks like a blood orange. I don't know. I don't mark them. I know when they start fruiting. But the citrus is a little slower because they're all seed grown. So sometimes, like the Miko lemon, will fruit in 4 years, but sometimes some of these other ones have taken a little longer to fruit. We have gotten our key limes to fruit from seed now, and that's it. Key limes and the Miko lemon. This is achachuro. It's quite large. This is a seed-grown quaimak. Looks great. There's a Monstera deliciosa alba, it looks like, albo. Here's a quaimak, seed-grown quaimak, quite large. I'm just going to look at these trees down here. He has not got to the front. He's going to do that when he comes back this week. I have little different trees, several different trees in here. We got this Garcinia macrophylla. It's very large, getting very large for us. It's looking good. And then passion vine growing on this heliconia, and licula palms and other licula type palms, but they do just fine with the drought. Here's a canistel fruit, one called Delightful egg fruit. It's got flowers all over it, and it looks like it has some bigger fruit right here that's set. Let's see, this thing produces fruit, so I missed the rasapote, but I don't think I found any fruit on this before. It's not flowering over here. It was, I think, earlier. Yes, there's a fruit right here. I love canistel fruit. I'm gonna pick it, it looks ready. This will definitely ripen off the tree. Yay. Ah, I love this. This is as good as rasapote. I don't trust those raccoons that steal my fruit. Gotta remember my air plants. Yay, okay, we got egg fruit. At least one of them made it. There's a big seed-grown Trinitoro cacao that had been flowering since last year. I don't know, it looks really healthy and just fine. It's quite large, seed-grown. I thought it would fruit this year, but last time I was here I did not see fruit on the cacao, or flowers on the cacao, and I looked at this one through the screen room and couldn't really see any flowers on it either. Ginger. This is like an evergreen, awapui type ginger. There's another one of those Thai giant calocasia. Here's a jackfruit seedling. The kaimitos, this is a big ice cream bean. The kaimitos start looking haggard because of drought, but we've been through this so many times with them. They just look haggard and then it rains and they look perfect. So this one looks okay. I should see if that Alva star apple is looking okay. Here's a little citrus, blood orange, I think. Here's a little cutie, clementine. There's a Oscar's giant purple. Boy, this doesn't look like it's affected by the drought at all. Here's a really good sapodilla. It's getting quite large. It's like 20 feet. Needs to fill out now. They can get huge. Yay. Here's our big producing achachuro tree. It looks great. It's got this vine still on it, but I did kill some of it. This is the Juicy Pearl Star Apple. Looks fabulous. Looks really good. I'm not even worried about it. Looks great. Okay, so I had the Alva Star Apple right around here, and I do not see it. There it is. Oh, looks good. Yes. Oh, yay. Black sapotes. I know we have fruit on it. We had so much fruit on it, and then the hurricane came and it knocked all of it off. But I know that there's probably fruit. I'm not going to look for it right now. But it's not a good black sapote here. Okay, this way or that way? I could go that way, but I'm going to go this way. Achachiro. Just so much to cover in here. Can't really look at all of it in our video. The orchids are looking good. Some of the jackfruit seedlings I planted look like they're struggling, but that's new leaf growth on it. And they can lose their leaves during drought, but it's not, when they're little, it's not a good thing. But this guanabana looks great. This is a sweet orange or blood orange. It's definitely big enough to start fruiting. Very healthy. Okay, there's an achachiro tree here. I have all kinds of weird stuff in here. There's a Talicia. It's looking really good. There's another one. I know I have some star apples, different star apples in here, and some different polyterias in here, and I have Cupia bracteosa in here, and there's a guanabana there, and lots of different garcinias. This is achachiro. This is a lindero that looks great, and I know there's a, there it is, the Brazilian charapu right there. Looks great. Planted at the base of this achachiro. And then there's stuff in here. There's coffee. There's one coffee right here. But there's other stuff in here. There is Garcinia dulcis with new leaves on it. And there's bunches of different Garcinias and little cacao I see right here and stuff like that just all through here. And same with this side. And I can see the coffee right here looks good. The little cacao there looks good. I see more stuff in here. This is the durian. Looks great with no water. I'm shocked about that, actually. Didn't think durian could be drought tolerant, but this one looks a little bit more drought stressed. But it's doing what the trees do that hang on to their leaves during drought, and that's curl up and hang down like citrus and star apple, camito, and juicy pearl, Argentium uratum. Is that what that is? Here's a jaguar cacao growing next to that Esqueleto monstera. Next to that philodendron. And there's other stuff in here. There's a Garcinia latissima right there that looks really nice. There's another one right there that looks nice. The Garcinias don't show drought stress. Very rare if they do. If they do, it's because of compaction or something's damaging the roots or something like that. Something either human caused or caused by nature. So there's a Pulasan tree that looks good. I know there's what is in here? There's lots. Here's our big cacao tree, and I don't see it fruiting, but I kind of thought that it might take a year off because of the drought stress it went under last winter, where part of it died, and that had never happened before. But it definitely seems okay, and it got much larger this year. So I think, well, not much larger, but it's pretty big. I can't really tell that it was damaged. It looks totally healthy. It doesn't look drought stressed. They will drop their leaves. They could go completely leafless. They usually don't die. That's why I was kind of surprised that this died. But this had 30 fruit on it. And I should have taken the fruit off, is what I should have done, just to spare the tree the stress. But it produced all 30 fruit, and I got a lot of seedlings from it. They're growing everywhere. Seedlings, we grow 4 different types of cacao. These are Garcinia linderos. They look good. And that's a cacao, obviously. Here's a Plinia edulis. Looks really good. Round leaf cacao. A langsat tree. Got a new leaf on it. See, that people say these are so ultra tropical, but why are they sending out leaves in the middle of winter? I just don't see that. And I just don't see it being that cold sensitive. Cold sensitive trees get spots on them, their leaves. Here's a lindero. I think that's a mangostana. It was a little slower than the others. So I do have I have a meringue tree in here. Hopefully it didn't die, stuff doesn't die in the grass, FYI. It protects it, especially during drought. So it looks good. There it is. Looks like it's got new leaf on it. Looks totally fine. I'll take that. There's little Garcinias through here. Where's that petalite tree? There's a petalite tree around here somewhere. And where is it? I hope it didn't die. Oh, here it is. No, it did not die. This is it. Boy, it looks good. Totally healthy. That's one of those super expensive $50 Garcinias. I don't know the name of them, but they came from Anderson Tropicals, I guess. No, the other one. Bellamy trees. I stopped buying from almost everyone. Major seed sources, like I don't buy from Fruit Lovers because I never got my product I bought. And then they never responded to my emails. Here's a Monstera Burley Marks Flame, looks great. This is, of course, a Philodendron gloriosum, looks good. This is one, that's Linamii philodendron. This one looks great. And then I have lots of these little licula palms and anthuriums. This is Anthurium negerlaminum. I gotta move along. I wanna look at my big mangostana over here to see how it's doing. Oh, it looks great. Look at it. New leaves in the winter. That's why I know this tree is not a cold sensitive tree, because it sends out new growth when it's cool. People in Florida, they don't say how they grow because they all pretty much grow conventionally. And has nobody ever bothered to try to naturally grow Garcinias until I came along? Surely there is others. I'm positive I'm not the only one that's done this. So these are little Garcinias of some type. I think that's the Brazilian cherapoo. This is the Amazon giant. There's so many. I think we have 30 different types of Garcinias. So there's cacao in here, lindero. They look good. They don't look drought stressed. They got new leaves on them. There's something here that I don't know what it is. It's some sort of Polyuteria species because I collected a bunch of different Polyuterias. There's a Garcinia through here. But I don't see it. Where are you? I know it's there. I just don't see it. There's one of those licula palms. There's a achachuro seedling. That's the improved variety. Improva selecto. There's a cacao. There's a cacao. There's lots of Garcinias through here. Here's a big Garcinia dulcis. Just nodding. Here's Knocklea latifolia. What an easy plant. If you can't grow Knocklea latifolia, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just a weed. Pretty much everything is easy once you realize it's all about the soil and less about you and what you do, and more about letting the soil regenerate itself and just feeding the soil whole foods. Little micro amounts every day is ideal. So I'm looking at this banana. I need to take this pup off this one. So there's a really nice tree. There's a big achachiro there. There's a bunch of achachiro and lukes and all kinds of different garcinias in there. Different dulcis and Brazilian cherapus and Amazon giant and macrophylla, acre. Here's a fruiting. Here's the citrus. I want to look at this Garcinia Livingstonii. Oh, it's got a little fruit on it. For some reason, it doesn't have any flowers, but I think they will flower more because we have gotten a fall crop, big fall crop off of our Garcinia Livingstonii, but this is the first year we got fruit off this female tree. You only need a female tree. You do not need a male and a female, just a female. This is rose apples. This is a seedling sugarloaf mango that's been in the ground for about 5 years. It seems like it could be big enough to flower this year. I hope it does. That would be nice. I would love to take seeds from that to experiment. Seed-grown mangoes up in Citra on the edge of our forest. So here's a achachiro in here. Okay, go back the way you came. Getting distracted here. So here's the Garcinia latissima direct sown seeds. I'm so glad I chose Garcinias to be basically the plant that we planted the most of because they seem to be the best adapted to grow here, and they all seem to grow identically to one another. No problems. We have so many of them here that I can direct sow Garcinia seeds and they just pop up and grow like crazy. Here's a fruiting, or no, a seed-grown citrus. Here's an achachiro. Some of these achachiro are getting big enough where they'll be producing fruit on their own. Next year for sure, some of them. Here's a key lime. I want to get some of this fruit. This is seed-grown. Key lime has had lots of fruit on it for a long time. There's another fruiting one right here, but it only produced a few fruits. There's different stuff in here. There's Wampy and Wampy-E. Both of them, the gold and the pink one, or gold and pink, right? And there's Polypteras in here, and there's cashews in here. Is that a cashew? It's either a cashew or a green sapote. I think it's a cashew though. This is a big Garcinia intermedia. Probably has fruit on it. There's a big Garcinia intermedia over here. There's just so much here. It's crazy. There's stuff in here. I know that there's cashews in here because I've seen them when I look. There's acre in here, and then there's definitely garcinias in here. And I planted a lot of garcinias over here. And I know there's an acre growing around here somewhere, and it does just fine. But there's lukes, and there's achachiro, and there's garcinia livingstonii, especially in this area across there. And then there's little cacao growing in here that are doing just fine. It's a process. Here's a little dwarf coconut my friend Tim brought me. Looks like it's doing really nicely. This year I planted lots of different achachiro and madruno in this area here, but there's bananas. This is a peach cobbler mango. There's cuttings of the red hog plum, Spondius bombin. This is that peach cobbler mango. This is a guanabana. It had flowers on it, and it looks fine. It doesn't look like we've had any cold because it just doesn't like cold. This is the orange sherbet mango. Here's my bananas that I got last time. So I took one or two off this, and there's still 3 bananas there. I took some off here. There's still plenty there. Here's a Poiuteria species, gift from my friend Frank. I'm not sure what it is. This all here is, then there's mangoes, and I see achachiro, and I did plant a lot of cashews in here this year, and I'm sure they're coming up. But I'm not sure exactly who it is, but it's supposed to be a good fruit and flower. Sorry, if people give it to me, I don't always remember the name for some reason. So this is an orange sherbet mango. This is a all summer mango. These are our Miko lemons. Still got lemons. Really good lemons. Miko lemon. Mango. There's a big achachiro over here. Looking good. There's a big cashew over here. And there's a big rack of bananas forming up there. Sugar cane, of course. Sweet potatoes. Mangoes. Citrus. Hey. So I think this trip I'm gonna get some ginger. So here's our Miko lemons. They're looking swell. Look at them. Big giant lemons. No bites from the birds this year. No ugly fruit. Super delicious. I grew seeds from that really strange deformed fruit I got off of it this year. I did a video of it, so hopefully they pop up. I'm gonna try to just do those, but these have never been watered. In fact, I didn't give them any inputs until this year, just to see what they would do, and they never are affected. They always produce lots of fruit. I've already taken a lot of fruit off those. And this is a mango. That achachiro, it's quite large, but there was a tornado that went through there, knocked that tree over, and obviously knocked that achachiro over. This is black sapote. Here's the mountain cherry guava, seed-grown black sapote, sweet tart mango. There's a black sapote fruit. This is a jackfruit that's orange crush. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I see a cashew right here. Real nice looking cashew. Right there. And I see a curry tree right there. We have a curry tree that produces fruit and probably has spread seeds everywhere. I did plant a bunch of seeds of it, direct sown. This is a mango. Then cassava, there's a mango. And then there's atamoyas, and then of course rose, sugar apple, atamoya, ilamas, all kinds of stuff in there. Mango. Sugar apple and atamoyas and ilamas, they are impervious to drought here. Atamoya, this is seed grown atamoya. It looks good. Finally getting some size to it. I got a few of those. Here's a guava. So guava can get a little drought stress sometimes, but it doesn't have any fruit on it right now, which is good. It's finally timing itself correctly. This is a achachiro that's quite large, getting quite large. Very close to fruiting size. There's another Adamoya. It's looking good. It's seed grown. I tried starting some seeds up in Citra of Adamoya. Supposedly it would be more cold tolerant than sugar apples. I like Adamoyas 100%. Sugar apples, I'm at like 50-50. They can be 100%, but then they can be not. So it's like hit or miss. But when they're on, they're as good as an awesome mango. But when they're not, they're not. They're horrible. So this is an orange river mango. This is Sapodilla, Hazia Sapodilla. It's a black sapote. This is a super Julie tree. That's a cac mango. There's another banana that's blooming. This is the Inga cinnamoniae. Of course, we got little bananas. Some trees have little racks. People on the banana thing on Facebook group, they're like said that bananas like to grow in swamp. Well, this is a little swampy low area. This is part of our water harvesting thing, and it could get excuse me, it could get a lot of standing water in it, and it's the first place the bananas die, and they're stunted all the time. So I don't know, maybe they're feeding them fertilizers, NPK fertilizers, but we don't have to water ours, and they produce fruit, lots of fruit. There's cashews. There's a lot of cashews in here, I know that. And then there's pigeon pea next to it. And this is a dot mango, which is very good. This is a Gary mango, which is awesome. Top tier mango. It's a purple chewy sugar apple. Most of our sugar apples are chewy green. Then we have Kampong Mauve and a couple of Kampong Mauve and a couple of Thai lizards. These are all pretty much chewy green sugar apples. They look good. They never get affected by drought. Sugar apples. I don't want to go look at my custard apple because it's just too hard to get over there. But there's longans here, and then mangoes, and it's never ending. It's like, what was I thinking? This is my personal food forest. I sell sometimes, but I get an F for effort, and double F for effort. And this is a Hazian Sapodilla. It's my personal food forest. So this is my dream tree here. This is a Garcinia madruno that is the fruit that keeps on giving. I see they're going to be ripe while I'm here. Yay. There's a lot of fruit on this tree. And it's probably flowering would be my guess, but there's fruit. Just look for it. It's there. I see little fruits. I see big fruits. I'm sure I could see a ripe one if I looked. I see flowers. Oh my God. It just never stops. It never freaking stops. Flower. It's amazing. This little tree started flowering, full sun, no water, at 2 feet tall. So is there a little fruit over here maybe? That's not under drought stress. Sapodillas, Hazia. It's another Sapodilla. This is a orange crush jackfruit that was covered in blooms when I was here last time. And I see it's got some fruit and blooms still on it. Hopefully we'll get some rain and lots of blooms on it. This started flowering for the first time last year, or this year. This winter it started. So this is the first year it's been flowering. This is a seed-grown jackfruit that flowered for the first time this year. Sapotes. Let me look at that custard apple just because I'm here. It's the Super Julie tree. That's a Ingus cinnamoniae. This is a giant sweet ubijay. Here's a Adam Wyatt. Looks like it's doing a little drought stress on me, but during drought in the winter, they will drop their leaves. But it's got to be really bad, but it's never had any dieback. It's nothing to worry about. They're not fruiting right now anyway. So this Ingus cinnamoniae tree is getting quite large. There's a Miko lemon, longan, Florgon mango. No, that's a Namdak Mai, that's a Florgon. This is that Annona reticulata. I'm surprised people get confused by the Annonas. It's like not that hard for the major ones. But maybe their journey has just begun. I don't know. I do find that most people that come by here really don't know what a lot of this stuff is. Or maybe I'm just going so fast, but guaranteed it's all growing by itself, so you don't need to know where it is. You just have to know how to pick it and eat it, which is a skill unto itself, especially for mangoes, because this is a Eugenia, the giant sweet ubijay. I got another one. That was a gift from my friend Frank. You got to know when to pick. So it took me a couple of years or 3 years. I'm still learning. Here's a orange cross jackfruit. There's a cac mango right here. This is a black sapote. I thought it had a big fruit on it that I saw, but I don't see any now. Here's a male Garcinia Hambromiana, the seashore mangosteen, Syllabica. There's a Miko lemon. So I direct sowed a jackfruit seed around here, and I don't see it. Let me look at this other Garcinia Livingstonii. So here's a male Garcinia Livingstonii tree. It looks like it's trying to flower. No, maybe not, but it's swelling. It's gonna flower in the spring, but it doesn't produce fruit. It's a male, they don't produce fruit. Well, sometimes they'll produce fruit. This is a female Garcinia Livingstonii tree. That's a seed-grown jackfruit that flowered this year for the first time. That's a grafted jackfruit that's fruited in the past, small, red, fruited variety. I'm almost done. This is that Rollinia that supposedly a Rollinia that obviously doesn't like the drought, but it did that last year. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I know the Rollinias, they seem to survive just fine. I go over here just to look. Here's a giant sweet ubijay, Eugenia, that looks great. There's one of those nice looking bromeliads. Pinot Noir, I think that's called. Acmea bromeliad. There's the ubijay right there. It looks great. Everything looks good. Look at the little achachuro, looks really good there. Big one looks good here. Let me look at that fruiting. Here's the achachuro. Fruiting Garcinia Hambromiana or Garcinia Syllabica. Here's a Luke's Garcinia. Got new leaves during the drought. Looks great. No problem. There's a male Garcinia Hambromiana. So I had an oil nut tree here and it's completely gone. It was right here. That's freaking weird. Am I not seeing it? That was looking so good and it's just completely gone, like it's gone. Where could it have gone? Here's a Miko lemon. Strange. Bizarre. You think you would have seen it or would see it. Looks so good too. Just surprised that it's gone. This is a cacao, it looks good. This is a achachira, looks great. Here's a blue lily pilly from my friend Frank. And there's a mountain cherry guava, mountain cherry guava over here. Right here. Here's a cashew. There's an achachiro. Here's a cashew. There's a seed-grown jackfruit. Bananas, of course, they're everywhere. So this is the Garcinia gardneriana. Looks great. It's got fruit all over it. Or no, this is Braziliensis. This is gardneriana. I was looking at it over here. It looks got lots of fruit on it. Produces lots of fruit. They don't seem to produce quite as much. Well, they produce more, but they don't produce non-stop like the Humbromiana. I mean, like the Madruna. This is the Humbromiana. There's a banana. Black sapote. Let me see these cashews in here. There's a cashew. There's a cashew. There's a cashew. There's a cashew. They're coming up. Let's look at the mulberries and wind this video up. See if there's any mulberries. It was blooming when I was here last time. Or fruiting, starting to fruit. It's a mango. There's a sapodilla. I had to go back and look for that oil nut tree. It's bizarre. Oh, I see fruit on it. Yay. Yep. Anyway, I'm Eric at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and this is Florida Natural Farming.